Imagine a universe where Earth isn't just a planet, but a carefully curated alien zoo designed for creatures observing from afar, like a giant cosmic safari. What if every mountain, river, and city is part of a giant display to curious extraterrestrial visitors? Sounds far-fetched, maybe, but it's a thought that flips the whole idea of our world on its head, turning reality into a mysterious, living attraction. Could the strange mysteries we chase, like unexplainable creatures or weird phenomena, be clues that we're part of something bigger, something watched? Stick around, because unlocking this cosmic secret might just change everything you think you know about Earth. The concept of Earth as a galactic zoo. Some theories about Earth's place in the universe suggest that intelligent extraterrestrial civilizations might be observing us, almost like guardians or avid spectators. When you consider the sheer number of stars and planets out there, billions or even trillions, it becomes a satisfying mental stretch to imagine Earth not merely as a world spinning aimlessly through space, but as part of a grand, intentional setup. The idea of Earth as a galactic zoo hinges on this notion that advanced beings or civilizations have staked out the galaxy, and perhaps they watch our every move with curiosity or amusement. Instead of direct contact, they may prefer to keep a watchful distance, observing our development, waiting for the right moment to step in, or simply enjoying the spectacle of evolution in action. This concept isn't just a fanciful sci-fi twist. It has roots in serious SETI, Search for Extraterrestrial Intelligence, hypotheses. Some scientists propose that extraterrestrials could be monitoring biosignatures, chemical clues that hint at life on distant planets, including Earth. Such civilizations might have mastered interstellar travel or advanced remote sensing technologies, enabling them to observe our atmospheric changes or even detect our radio signals. If Earth is a zoo, then our natural ecosystems and burgeoning technological infrastructure could be akin to a carefully curated exhibit, an ecosystem preserved for study, much like animals in a controlled environment. The possibility makes some wonder if our radio broadcasts or attempts at space exploration are accidentally akin to flashing signals in a giant galactic enclosure, inadvertently advertising that Earth's inhabitants are knocking on the universe's door. The idea gets more playful once you realize that this zoo isn't necessarily passive. Perhaps the custodians of this cosmic exhibit occasionally intervene, shaping our climate, medical innovations, or even the emergence of critical technologies as part of an unseen plan. Conversely, they could be purely observational, content to watch evolution unfold without direct interference. In either case, the concept invites questions of motivation. Are we part of an intricate experiment, a pet project, or a form of entertainment for more advanced intelligences? Or might we be a kind of ancient relic, left largely untouched and left to develop at our own pace, like animals in a preserved habitat, watched but not touched? Multiple thought experiments bolster this idea, especially when examining the peculiarity of the Fermi paradox. The question of why, given the galaxy's age and the probability of extraterrestrial life, we've seen no undeniable signs of other civilizations. If we are in a galactic zoo, the silence could be intentional. Maybe sentient life is rare and valuable, so the keepers prefer to externalize their observations rather than reveal themselves outright. Or perhaps they are waiting for us to reach a certain level of maturity, sociological, technological, or moral, before opening the gates. Earth as a galactic zoo remains an irresistible puzzle, blending science, speculation, and a dash of cosmic humor, leaving us to wonder whether we're the main attraction or simply part of the scenery in a vast, intelligent universe full of unseen eyes. Historical precedents for animal observation. When the great explorers first ventured into uncharted lands, they often carried with them a sense of attempered by curiosity, a desire to understand the strange, unfamiliar creatures that populated these new worlds. Early naturalists, sometimes amateur adventurers, kept detailed journals filled with drawings, behaviors, and peculiar habits of animals that seemed almost alien compared to European fauna. Take the case of Alexander von Humboldt, who meticulously documented South American wildlife, noting the bizarre adaptations of creatures like the poison dart frog or the strange hummingbirds that darted like living jewels. These observations weren't just academic. They were a window into worlds that felt like they belonged to another planet. Later, during the Age of Enlightenment, scientific societies sprang up as hubs for cataloging the natural world. Expeditions would send collectors to distant colonies, rainforests, and mountain ranges, capturing specimens for study and display. The practice was more than just curiosity. It was driven by a desire to classify and understand the vast diversity of life on Earth. Sometimes, explorers would stumble on animals that seemed straight out of science fiction, creatures with colors so vivid they seemed almost unnatural. This sense of wonder, combined with a strict scientific approach, created a long tradition of observing animals as if they were specimens from an alien world, an uncharted universe teeming with strange, fascinating beings. In some ways, the impulse to watch animals as if they were alien inhabitants persisted into modern scientific research. Ethologists, those studying animal behavior, often set up hidden cameras or tracking devices, monitoring species in their natural habitat with a kind of secretive fascination. Their goal? To peer into the lives of creatures that, on the surface, seem familiar but reveal layers of complexity upon closer inspection. The way wolves communicate through howling, or how octopuses solve puzzles with a cunning that rivals some of humanity's own, sparks the same curiosity as peering into an extraterrestrial ecosystem. Each observation deepens the mystery and blurs the line between the known and the unknown, making us wonder if Earth's animals might just be the most elaborate zoo observed by an unseen alien eye. Throughout history, the act of observing animals has often felt like tapping into a hidden universe, full of secret signals, strange behaviors, and unexpected intelligence. Today's high-speed cameras and genetic studies continue that legacy, revealing that what once seemed bizarre or alien is really just a different mode of life, perhaps a distant cousin from a different corner of the cosmic zoo we all share. It's easy enough to imagine Earth as an alien preserve, with humanity as the only visitor who doesn't quite realize they're being watched, cataloged, and perhaps even studied by some cosmic curator. All those centuries of careful observation make the idea tantalizingly plausible. Maybe, just maybe, we're the exhibits. Why aliens might keep Earth as a zoo. Some scientists and conspiracy enthusiasts muse that Earth might be a giant, meticulously curated exhibit for extraterrestrial visitors. The idea isn't just whimsical. It's rooted in the baffling abundance of natural phenomena that seem oddly preserved or fragile, as if someone's taking notes. Think about the precise conditions necessary for life. A delicate balance of atmospheric gases, liquid water, and a stable climate. It's almost as if Earth's entire ecosystem is a complex, well-maintained display aimed at keeping its inhabitants alive just long enough for someone to observe. Alien theorists suggest that if other civilizations are capable of interstellar travel, they might see value in monitoring biological diversity and evolution over millions of years, like sitting back and watching a sprawling cosmic petri dish. Why would aliens bother with such a setup? The reasons could be as varied as the species themselves. Perhaps Earth serves as a natural laboratory where extraterrestrials observe the development of intelligent life and assess the risks and benefits of hitching a ride further into the galaxy. It's conceivable they would want to understand what makes Earth special, its unique biodiversity, its history of mass extinctions, or even how complex societies form and collapse. In this perspective, Earth becomes less a planet of chaos and more a curated scene for scientific study or even cultural research, akin to a zoo exhibit, but on a galactic scale. The concept invites a playful thought that maybe the universe's greatest exhibit isn't found in museums, but scattered across the stars, with Earth as a centerpiece. Another tantalizing hypothesis points to the idea that Earth might be a controlled environment designed for observation rather than random occurrence. Some argue that conditions on Earth resemble a giant, high-stakes experiment, an elaborate setup with surveillance embedded in its very fabric. Alien watchers could be toggling the environment or steering the course of evolution, quietly nudging our species through crises, wars, or breakthroughs. This scenario raises the possibility that other advanced civilizations possess technology capable of invisibly monitoring every fluctuation from afar, like a cosmic reality show with human beings unwittingly playing along. It's an unsettling yet intriguing thought that our planet might be less free and more funneled into a grand experiment, with extraterrestrial viewers enjoying the spectacle. Ultimately, the notion of Earth as an alien zoo prompts questions more than it provides answers. It twists our perspective on our fragility and uniqueness, turning the familiar blue planet into a sort of cosmic exhibit. Whether or not it's true, it certainly ignites curiosity and a sense of wonder, reminding us that in the vast, mysterious universe, our home could be just one carefully maintained feature in a sprawling, unseen collection of worlds. Satirical take on human self-importance. Somewhere in the vast, silent cosmos, a curious hypothesis has begun to simmer. What if Earth isn't precisely the cradle of humanity, but rather a meticulously curated exhibit? Think big, an interstellar zoo where the humans scurry about, oblivious to their role as the main attraction. This idea scrambles conventional notions of significance, turning terrestrial virtues into tiny, amusing blips on a cosmic radar. Imagine extraterrestrial visitors strolling through this zoo, observing Homo sapiens thrash about with their peculiar obsession with selfies, social media fame, and a relentless pursuit of meaning, all while a foreign species watches silently, noting the elaborate self-delusion. On a playful note, it's tempting to picture Earth's most vocal humans, social media influencers, conspiracy theorists, politicians, acting as the loud or flamboyant exhibits, attracting the most attention from the unseen overseers. Perhaps our eagerness to proclaim ourselves as the universe's pinnacle is a form of performance art, a grand act for the cosmic crowd who already know the ending. Every environmental disaster, every war, and every viral trend might be just the zoo's way of keeping the display lively, ensuring the humans don't get too comfortable in their ignorance. The idea hints at a universe that finds human hubris faintly amusing, maybe even adorable, like a cosmic comedy where we take ourselves way too seriously. Even scientific pursuits, when viewed through this lens, take on a new flavor. Our telescopes and space probes could be akin to observing behaviors in a peculiar, highly evolved species, one that's still fumbling with its own existential puzzle. The Fermi paradox, which questions why we haven't encountered other intelligent life, might become less of a mystery and more of a cosmic joke. Perhaps Earth's the only display, worth noting, deliberately left isolated or monitored as a case study in chaos and self-destruction. Meanwhile, humans tend to think of their intelligence as a universal gift rather than the zoo's way of showcasing a trial-and-error species, teetering at the edge of its own self-made chaos. If that notion carried any weight, it would underscore how little humans grasp about their own importance. The universe could be a grand, all-encompassing amusement park, with Earth as the eccentric, unpredictable ride. The more humans debate about their special place in the cosmos, the more it sounds like a circus act, spectacles for invisible spectators with a sense of humor darker than black holes. It would suggest that human self-importance is not just a psychological quirk, but part of a cosmic narrative designed to entertain the universe's unseen custodians, who perhaps are quite bemused by the frantic, often petty, drama unfolding on this tiny, swirling planet. The evidence that supports the zoo hypothesis, the idea that Earth might be a giant, meticulously maintained zoo, isn't as ludicrous as it sounds when you poke around the evidence, or rather the strange absence of it. Consider the Fermi paradox. If extraterrestrial civilizations are common enough to be detectable, why haven't we stumbled upon their signals, artifacts, or even a curious alien peep through our telescopes? The zoo hypothesis offers an elegant explanation. These alien observers could be consciously choosing to keep humanity in the dark, viewing us as an interesting species still in the nursery stage of cosmic maturity. The silence and the lack of direct contact might not be negligence, but rather a purposeful observation, like extraterrestrial zookeepers watching us evolve from behind a cosmic glass. Supporters of the zoo hypothesis point out that many technological signatures we typically associate with advanced civilizations are conspicuously absent. No discernible megastructures, no Dyson spheres orbiting nearby stars, despite our best searches. This absence might be a sign that we're simply not supposed to notice, like a locked exhibit that keeps its inhabitants under close but invisible surveillance. Some argue that the universe's vastness compounds this mystery. If aliens are out there, they could be deliberately choosing to surround Earth with a kind of cloaking that prevents us from detecting their activities, or they might have established a set of unspoken rules to let humanity develop without interference, akin to cosmic courtesy. The plausibility of this hypothesis also finds grounding in the observed behaviors of certain animal species on Earth. Many animals are kept under observation without direct contact, respected, studied, left largely undisturbed, and this mirrors the idea that advanced civilizations might adopt a similar stance. If extraterrestrials are indeed watching us, it would make sense that their prime directive might be non-interference, much like a wildlife preserve aimed at allowing natural behaviors to unfold without interference. The lack of overt interference, combined with the strange, sometimes inexplicable silence, lends some weight to the idea that we're in an interstellar zoo, with signs of direct contact deliberately veiled. Some even point to our own history of unexplained phenomena. Flying saucers seen over military bases, reports of crop circles, and eerie encounters as potential clues. If Earth truly is a monitored exhibit, those sightings could be shorthand for observation rather than actual visitation. The zoo hypothesis feels almost romantic in a cosmic kind of way. There's an underlying order to the universe we don't fully grasp, and we, clueless and curious, are simply part of the display, waiting for us to notice the subtle signs that we are, indeed, part of a vast, intergalactic preserve. How could Earth be a hidden exhibit? In the grand theater of possibilities, imagining Earth as a hidden exhibit in an alien zoo taps into a fascinating blend of scientific curiosity and playful speculation. The idea hinges on the premise that extraterrestrial observers might be carefully watching from the shadows, cataloging Earth's diverse ecosystems, strange behaviors, and evolving life forms without ever revealing their presence. Evidence of such covert observation can be spun from the insights of SETI, which suggests that advanced civilizations could be scanning planets for signs of life from afar. But what if they're not just scanning, but actively maintaining an elaborate display, selectively revealing or concealing certain facets of Earth's biosphere? It's a mind-bending thought. Aliens controlling the narrative, choosing which species thrive in the spotlight and which are kept under wraps. One way this could manifest is through the selective curation of life, akin to a highly sophisticated zoo exhibit. Imagine the possibility that Earth's most extraordinary creatures are carefully managed specimens, akin to rare animals in a zoo whose existence is never announced publicly. There might be species that are deliberately kept hidden, organisms that could threaten the stability of the planet or reveal too much about the true nature of Earth's environment. The famous animals in the wild could actually be carefully monitored subjects, with their behaviors recorded through remote sensing devices or disguised as natural phenomena. Conversely, some species might be cultivated to give the appearance of a pristine, untouched world, all while hiding the more extraordinary or potentially revealing life forms away from incoming alien eyes. The idea of Earth as an alien zoo also raises the possibility that some phenomena we perceive as natural anomalies could be deliberate disruptions or signals crafted by these unseen keepers. Strange weather patterns, inexplicable disappearances, or sudden, unexplainable biological behaviors might serve as subtle cues or warnings. Language of sorts meant only for those who already know the secret code. The visible chaos and beauty of our planet could be part of the show, intentionally designed to entertain, monitor, or perhaps test humanity's resilience and curiosity. If Earth truly is a zoo, then even our darkest moments may be part of a carefully balanced act, staged for an audience of extraterrestrial visitors who enjoy a grand spectacle from the cosmos. And yet, pondering whether Earth might be a carefully maintained exhibit invites more questions than answers. What criteria would these alien zookeepers use? How extensive would their surveillance and manipulation be? Could they be conducting experiments or simply observing for their own curiosity? Perhaps, in this cosmic display, humans are merely the intelligent primates, unaware that each discovery, each tragedy, and each leap of consciousness is part of a larger, hidden narrative. The idea turns the familiar into something mysterious and playful, reminding us that sometimes the universe's most extraordinary secrets could be lurking just beyond our perceptual reach, playing out behind the scenes of the universe's grand, enigmatic zoo. The humans, residents, exhibits, or both. Humans, within the grand scheme of the universe, could be viewed through a lens of playful curiosity as either native residents or priceless exhibits in an extraterrestrial zoo. If aliens designed our planet as a kind of sprawling showcase, humans might be the main attraction, curious, unpredictable, and often baffling. They watch us through unseen monitors, marveling at our social rituals, technological mishaps, and emotional confusions. To them, we might resemble animated specimens in a bizarre, ongoing experiment, with our behaviors analyzed as if we're native wildlife or exotic artifacts. The idea sparks an amusing mental image. Aliens with clipboards scribbling notes about the strange, chaotic species living on a tiny blue ball. Of course, humans could also be considered residents, full members of this cosmic exhibit, with all their imperfections and quirks. We build civilizations, forge relationships, and create art, all while orbiting a star that seems both familiar and wildly unpredictable. The extraterrestrials observing us might see a planet teeming with life forms that have developed intelligence, culture, and technology, but still indulge in petty tribal conflicts and undeniable foolishness. Such behavior might be endlessly fascinating to a species that measures progress differently, perhaps seeing our wars, pandemics, or even our music as peculiar but impressive phenomena. In this scenario, we're not just specimens. We're actively participating in a complex, ongoing display, each of our actions contributing to the ever-evolving narrative of Earth. Yet there's also the enticing possibility that humans are both the residents and exhibits simultaneously, a living, breathing exhibit shared among a multitude of alien viewers. We flip between the roles, sometimes clueless residents bouncing through life, other times performers on an unending stage. Alien observers might use our existence to study the concept of consciousness, culture, or even humor itself, as if we're a living documentary series filmed by unseen hosts. Some parts of our daily lives could be seen as stage displays, holidays, ceremonies, or even our daily routines, carefully curated to showcase our species' diversity and oddities. The idea of being both the spectacle and the inhabitants adds an intriguing layer of complexity. Are we the stars of our own show, or just background entertainment for a curious, perhaps amused, extraterrestrial audience? In the end, contemplating ourselves as either residents or exhibits, or both, invites a playful, almost mischievous perspective on humanity's place in the universe. Whether we're viewed as subjects of observation or active participants in a cosmic showcase, the notion sparks endless curiosity. It suggests that perhaps, in some distant corner of the cosmos, our wildly unpredictable human antics are appreciated as a fascinating and entertaining display, part living history, part museum masterpiece, all wrapped up in the mystery of what it truly means to be human. The zookeepers, which aliens are in charge. In the grand schema of the universe's mysterious zoo, the question of who exactly is in charge behind the scenes is tantalizing. If Earth truly is an alien exhibit, then the guards, scientists, and overseers could be anything from hyper-intelligent extraterrestrial biologists to covert monitoring entities with motives that nobody fully understands. Some propose that the zookeepers are the most ancient, advanced civilization in the galaxy. Entities capable of manipulating time, space, and even consciousness itself. They might operate from the shadows, perhaps using subtle signals or mind melds to observe, but never interfere overtly, maintaining the delicate balance of the enclosure without revealing their presence. These cosmic overseers could resemble anything from the classic gray aliens with elongated heads and large, curious eyes to more complex forms of consciousness that bypass physical forms altogether. There's speculation that their technological mastery surpasses anything humanity could conceive. They might monitor Earth's biosphere using quantum sensors that blend seamlessly into the environment. Or perhaps they've embedded consciousness probes within our technology, making themselves invisible through advanced camouflage. Evidence of their influence, if you believe in it, includes unusual patterns in electromagnetic signals, sudden leaps in wildlife or climate phenomena, or cultural shifts that seem too precise to be mere coincidence. What makes the mystery even more compelling is the possibility that these zookeepers are narrow-minded or benevolent, or perhaps something entirely incomprehensible by humans. Some believe they could be literal scientists collecting data on life's diversity, much like biologists studying animals in a zoo, except with cosmic stakes and a far greater capacity for observation. Alternatively, they might see Earth as a social experiment or a cultural preserve. Imagine a scenario where different alien species take turns feeding, information, or performing maintenance, akin to custodians ensuring the well-being of their fascinating, complex exhibit. Perhaps they manipulate the climate or even certain evolutionary pathways to see what might happen, all while maintaining a curious, detached eye. The most intriguing idea is that these zookeepers, if they exist, might not see themselves as caretakers at all, but as explorers, somehow as obsessed with understanding us as we are with our daily routines. They could operate on principles far beyond our understanding, driven by scientific curiosity or even a form of aesthetic appreciation for Earth's diversity. It's worth pondering whether they're watching from a place where ethics and morality are different, or if they wholly lack such concepts. Are they inhabitants of a universe's ultimate observational station, or just a collective of rogue entities playing cosmic chess, where Earth is just one tiny, intriguing pawn? Such questions will probably remain unanswered for now, but they ignite the imagination and keep the mystery alive. The ethics of galactic zookeeping. The idea that Earth could be an alien zoo instantly raises a buffet of moral questions that slice through the fabric of cosmic curiosity and human morality alike. If alien observers are secretly watching from afar, possibly studying our behaviors, cultures, or even our ecosystems, then ethical dilemmas sprout like weeds in a well-tended garden. Are we sapient beings, or just exhibit in a sprawling galactic gallery? The concept shifts from science fiction to a philosophical guessing game about the rights of creatures, whether human or other, living under surveillance and observation. Would it be ethical for these extraterrestrial spectators to observe us without consent, especially if they manipulate or interfere? Or could their silent watching be compared to a moral breach akin to espionage? The hypothetical responsibility of maintaining Earth's environment and species enters the scene as well. In terrestrial zoos, caretakers have a duty of care, ensuring animals thrive within safe and humane conditions. Translating that to a galactic zoo implies that if humans are indeed being observed or managed, then the cosmic custodians somehow shoulder a weighty moral obligation. Do they have a duty to preserve the integrity of Earth's ecosystems? If they control or influence climate, plant life, or even human development, perhaps through subtle interventions, might that be a form of ongoing moral stewardship? In this scenario, the question shifts from passive observation to active governance, raising concerns over whether interference always aligns with ethics, or if it risks infringing on free will and natural evolution. Then, there's the long-standing debate about consent. Imagine a scenario where humanity is entirely unaware of its status as part of an alien experiment or exhibit. Does the lack of informed consent inherently mean the whole setup is ethically questionable? Some argue that aware beings possess certain rights, such as autonomy and the ability to make decisions about their own destinies. If we are unwitting characters in an alien tableau, maybe even prisoners in an elaborate cosmic petting zoo, what moral justification could exist for such clandestine observation? Conversely, others might posit that the vastness of space and the limits of understanding justify such distant, detached surveillance, like watching ants through a microscope. That raises the philosophical question. If the aliens are genuinely indifferent to our suffering, inaction, or cultural evolution, does that diminish or enhance their moral responsibilities? Finally, the possibility that Earth is an alien zoo invites reflection on the broader implications of power and ethics in the universe. Might advanced civilizations see custodianship or observation as an act of benevolence, or is it inherently exploitative? If humans discovered that we are, in fact, part of such a galactic exhibit, would that prompt a universal debate about dignity, respect, and the meaning of free will across the cosmos? Could we, as a species, develop moral frameworks that challenge the idea of being mere exhibits, perhaps demanding rights or recognition in a universe of silent spectators? Or might recognizing ourselves as part of a cosmic zoo inspire humility, knowing that in a potentially vast and indifferent universe, our moral compass is more vital than ever? The ethics of galactic zookeeping remain shrouded in mystery, yet their exploration undeniably presses on the core of what it means to live with agency and respect in the great cosmic landscape. Humans' unintentional contributions to the exhibit. Throughout their curious existence on Earth, humans have been unwitting artists of the grand cosmic display, leaving behind more than just footprints and trash. Their impact on the planet's ecological and geological stages is akin to a series of accidental installations, permanent and profound, yet never intentionally designed for the cosmic exhibit. Consider the introduction of invasive species. Deliberately or accidentally, humans have carried plants, animals, and microbes across continents and oceans, creating ripple effects that reshape entire ecosystems. These species act like living artifacts in this imagined extraterrestrial showcase, demonstrating influence that was never part of the original Earth design. Urban development and industrial activity have also introduced a persistent layer of change, akin to an enormous, ever-growing artifact that covers vast swathes of the planet. The construction of highways, cities, and ports has transformed landscapes into concrete jungles, while pollution, air, water, and soil acts as an unintended chemical graffiti that alters the planet's delicate chemistry. For the hypothetical alien observers, these changes could appear as bizarre, deliberate modifications. But dating back to the dawn of the Industrial Revolution, they reflect a series of unintentional artistic strokes painted by humanity's craving for progress. The buildup of greenhouse gases, resulting mainly from fossil fuel combustion, holds the potential to be an exhibit of collective human hubris, a display of how complex systems can be thrown off balance through seemingly small choices. Perhaps most fascinating is how the artifacts of human activity persist long after their creators are gone. Plastic debris scattered across oceans is a prime example. Once discarded, it becomes a fossilized tribute to human ingenuity or carelessness that resists natural decay. Sunlight, wave action, and microbial activity attempt to break down this material, but many plastics survive for hundreds of years, turning into part of a slowly unfurling meta-exhibit. These remnants serve as silent clues for alien audiences, evidence of a species that built sprawling civilizations with a penchant for leaving behind incongruous, durable remnants. They might see these as curious relics, wondering what kind of creatures could produce such durable, yet environmentally disruptive artifacts. Ultimately, the unintentional contributions of humans, whether through the spread of species, the alteration of landscapes, or the accumulation of synthetic debris, form a layered, chaotic collage within Earth's showcase. They demonstrate the complexity and unintended consequences of intelligent life, revealing a species that both shapes and is shaped by its environment without always understanding the depth of its footprints. For the cosmic viewers, these accidental artworks might be interpreted as a testament to curiosity, hubris, ingenuity, and perhaps even a warning. A complex narrative written not in deliberate strokes, but in the chaotic, beautiful mess that humanity has left in its wake. The absurdity of human self-discovery mysteries. Humans spend an extraordinary amount of time unraveling their own mysteries. Consciousness, identity, purpose. Yet much of this quest feels oddly reminiscent of poking around in a vast, unknowable exhibit designed with a dash of cosmic irony. The idea that Earth could be an alien zoo isn't just a sci-fi trope, but a playful lens through which to view our persistent obsession with self-discovery. Because if Earth truly were some grand enclosure, then humans would be the curious, often clueless inhabitants, constantly searching for clues about who they are and why they're here, seemingly blind to the possibility of a bigger, perhaps more bizarre, cosmic purpose behind it all. Humans have an insatiable drive to understand themselves, why they dream, what consciousness really means, whether free will exists. But in the larger scheme, these questions often circle back to the absurdity of the human perspective. For example, attempts to nail down the true nature of free will often end in paradoxes or contradictions, like trying to define a shadow by its darkness. Self-discovery sometimes becomes a relentless scavenger hunt, with each answer only revealing more questions, creating the perfect recipe for a cosmic riddle that might be deliberately set up for our benefit or amusement. It's as if humans are explorers in a giant, perplexingly intricate zoo, poking at glass enclosures with a mixture of curiosity and cluelessness. The strange beauty of this scenario is that it underlines how self-exploration, despite all its frustrations, is oddly bragworthy. Humans are capable of contemplating their own existence, which makes them one of the universe's more curious experiments. Yet it's easy to fall into the trap of thinking that this introspective journey is inherently meaningful, when maybe, just maybe, it's more about the spectacle of trying to decipher a puzzle that's maybe meant to be unsolvable. It's like a cosmic game of hide and seek, with consciousness as the seeker continually knocking on glass, blind to the possibility that the other side might not even be a place of secrets, but a playful illusion designed to keep us occupied. This absurdity stands out sharply against the backdrop of science and logic. How we chase after understanding, convinced that each discovery brings us closer to truth, when in reality, it might just be part of a larger, incomprehensible choreography. The more we learn, the more we realize how little we truly know, fueling an endless cycle of curiosity and bewilderment. It's as if the universe, or perhaps the cosmic zookeeper, delights in keeping us chasing shadows, relishing our earnest but often futile attempts to turn self-discovery into a master key that unlocks the great enigma of existence. Potential reasons for partial disclosure or deception. There's a tantalizing possibility lurking behind all those flickering UFO sightings and mysterious government cover-ups. Earth might be a carefully curated exhibit within some interstellar zoo. If that's the case, then the idea that authorities might be hiding truths, either partially revealing or outright deceiving us, starts to make a strange kind of sense. Think about the logistics. Governments and secret agencies possess technology and knowledge that far outstrip what's publicly available. Why share the full story about extraterrestrial visitors or the true origins of unidentified crafts? One plausible reason for this veiling could be to prevent mass panic. When the scope of what's really happening is too overwhelming, a controlled drip feed of information, partial disclosure, might be designed to soften the blow. It's a bit like revealing that there are alien beings observing us, but only in carefully staged reports and sanitized images. This orchestrated transparency allows authorities to ease into the truth without knocking society off its axis. Such restraint could also serve to maintain social stability or avoid chaos that might arise from widespread existential shock. Another angle involves the strategic use of deception to keep potential extraterrestrial observers from realizing how much we know. If certain factions within governments or clandestine groups suspect Earth's true status as an alien habitat, they might craft false narratives, cover stories that make it seem like humanity is just a biological experiment or that the visitors are benign tourists. Orwellian in its scope, this kind of deception could be designed to distract or misdirect both the visitors and the human population. For instance, stories about secret government projects or advanced fake UFO sightings could be tools to muddy the waters, protecting the actual truth from prying eyes, whether they're ours or extraterrestrial. There's also a more playful, conspiracy-fueled theory that suggests some disclosure is deliberately staged to manipulate or test us. Governments might release bits of ambiguous evidence to gauge our reactions, seeing if the global population interprets these glimpses as fearsome threats or benign curiosities. They could be monitoring how we respond to alleged alien contact, learning about our fears, hopes, and levels of gullibility. In this scene of constant misinformation, the truth could be a layered cake, with each slice revealing just enough to keep us hooked, guessing, and, diplomatically speaking, manageable under the watchful eyes of those who might prefer the cosmos to remain a secret garden. All of these scenarios paint a picture of a complex game of cosmic chess. Whether it's to keep us calm, mislead rivals, or simply to maintain a degree of control over a reality that's far stranger than any fiction, the reasons for partial disclosure or deception are as layered and mysterious as the universe itself. In the end, the question remains, if Earth truly is an alien zoo, how much of what we know is by design? And who's watching the watchers? Implications for human autonomy and free will. If Earth truly turned out to be part of an alien zoo, the idea of human autonomy and free will suddenly becomes a tangled web of intrigue and uncertainty. Imagine waking up each morning, living your life, making choices, and never truly knowing whether the puppet strings are held by some unseen extraterrestrial curator. This isn't just a sci-fi plot. If humans are part of a carefully monitored environment, our sense of agency could be an illusion, a cleverly designed illusion tailored by beings with perhaps a far greater understanding of psychology and control than we realize. It's reminiscent of those stories where the inhabitants believe they are autonomous, but are actually constrained by forces beyond their comprehension, much like a high-budget simulation. The implications ripple through every aspect of decision-making. Autonomous action relies on the conviction that we're free to choose, to change course, to rebel or conform. But if aliens are observing us, tweaking conditions, or subtly nudging certain behaviors, then autonomy becomes a question mark. Are our choices genuinely ours, or are they scripted by a higher intelligence? For example, consider the concept of choice, from what ice cream flavor to pick to career paths. If a few invisible alien monitors adjust environmental factors or plant ideas in our subconscious, every decision we think we're making independently might be just a stage-managed performance. That throws a wrench into the very foundation of free will, challenging the notion that human beings are truly authors of their own destiny. On a deeper level, this setup could influence how we view morality and responsibility. If humans are beings in an alien zoo, then notions of praise, blame, guilt, and virtue become murky. Are we genuinely accountable for our actions if we're under surveillance or manipulation? Or is accountability just a convenient social construct for beings whose true motives remain cloaked in mystery? Some thinkers have pondered whether moral agency could be redefined under such circumstances, perhaps as an emergent property rather than an innate trait. We might be living in a perpetual state of ethical ambiguity, forever questioning whether our moral compass is authentically ours or just a reflection of alien programming. Finally, the playful, unsettling notion that humans are part of a cosmic exhibit invites us to reconsider the very nature of freedom as a concept. If our behaviors aren't entirely up to us, then the idea of breaking free from control looks less like an act of rebellion and more like an act of awakening. Some might argue that even in such a scenario, the act of questioning and doubting becomes a form of autonomous defiance, a way to reclaim a fraction of self-determination. Yet, others could say that recognizing ourselves as living in an alien zoo, intentional or not, may lead to existential despair or a renewed sense of curiosity about who we really are beneath the layers of observation. Either way, our understanding of free will become a playful dance between illusion and reality, a storyline that keeps the universe's mysteries just out of reach. Humor and horror, the dual nature of the alien zookeeper. If Earth is truly an alien zoo, then the zookeepers, those mysterious overseers, must be the most unpredictable creatures in the cosmos. They could be genuinely amused by their human exhibits, observing our quirks with a mix of curiosity and thinly veiled boredom. Or perhaps they chuckle behind the scenes as they monitor our daily chaos, their laughter echoing through distant star systems. Imagine a creature that sees us as a walking, talking comedy show, some kind of cosmic sitcom, yet holds the power to turn the laugh track into a scream with a single unsettling adjustment of the environment. Humor and horror become two sides of the same cosmic coin. The zookeepers might design our world to include strange and twisted amusements. Imagine a surreal theme park where gravity randomly flips or where animals switch roles mid-chase, just to see how we cope. On one hand, they could be tickled by the absurdity of our habits, corporate meetings, social media antics, or even our obsession with cats. On the other, their sense of humor might be disturbingly dark, like a cosmic prankster relishing the terror or confusion triggered by their experiments. Perhaps they observe us with a twisted sense of delight, like a cat pawing at tiny, fragile creatures in a terrarium, unsure whether they're watching a comedy or a horror flick. This duality is what makes the idea so fascinating. The alien zookeeper might indulge in moments of bizarre levity, dropping strange objects into our oceans or tweaking our weather patterns just enough to create chaos, and then sharpen their claws at the horror of our suffering. Could they see our pain as part of the entertainment? Maybe they view our evolution as a sort of ongoing joke, an elaborate laugh track to their cosmic comedy routine. Still, sometimes they must pause, reflecting perhaps on the darker truths of their own nature. Are they amused by our resilience? Or do they secretly envy the simplicity of their own existence compared to the chaos of humanity? Their dual nature makes them unpredictable storytellers of our fate, humor interlaced with hidden dread. In a universe where our planet is a zoo, this dual sense of humor and horror leaves us stranded in a cosmic limbo. Every strange sound, every inexplicable phenomenon could be a zookeeper's punchline. The subtle, lurking horror slithers behind moments of levity. What if those strange lights in the sky are simply their mischievous pranks, or worse, the calm before surprise horror reveal? The duality keeps us guessing. Could they be watching us with a twisted fondness, or are we unwitting protagonists in a dark, cosmic play? Either way, it inspires a strange mix of awe, dread, and curiosity, making it impossible to look at the universe and ourselves the same way again. The idea that Earth could be an alien zoo taps into a tantalizing blend of science fiction and open scientific curiosity. In such a scenario, humans might be nothing more than a curated exhibit, observed and studied from afar by mysterious visitors. Consider how zoos function. Animals are kept in controlled environments, monitored for their behaviors, and sometimes even manipulated for research or entertainment. If Earth were an alien zoo, some anomalies might seem suspiciously orchestrated. For example, the abrupt appearance of complex life forms, coinciding with cosmic events, could suggest deliberate introduction. Then there's the question of how Earth's ecosystems remain relatively stable despite catastrophic natural events. Perhaps these are part of a larger management plan fine-tuned by unseen overseers. Technology offers intriguing clues. Our own advancements, like the development of agriculture, medicine, and even space exploration could be interpreted as a series of experiments or interactions when viewed through the lens of an alien zoo. What if our intelligence is an unintended byproduct of some grand design? The diversity and resilience of life on Earth might serve as a wide-ranging exhibit, showcasing the evolutionary potential of a particular planetary environment. Some theorists speculate that if Earth is an exhibit, the visitors might be nearly invisible, tiny probes or consciousness-based entities that slip into the fabric of reality, observing without interfering too overtly. The fact that humans remain largely unaware of this possibility adds to the mystery, hidden in plain sight, like animals in a carefully curated habitat. Humans themselves sometimes act as part of the exhibit, unintentionally revealing their unique qualities or behaviors in ways that could tell aliens everything they want to know. Cultural shifts, conflicts, technological breakthroughs. These patterns resemble observing a highly dynamic, sentient species in its natural habitat. In this speculative framework, ancient myths and archaeological mysteries could be interpreted as clues left behind by the designers of the zoo or signs of the visitors' attempts at communication. Whether or not Earth actually is a zoo, contemplating this idea challenges the limits of our understanding, nudging us to see ourselves not just as inhabitants of a planet, but potentially as part of a vast, intergalactic monitoring system. The mysterious silence from the cosmos, then, might be a sign that we're still under observation or that the zoo is in a quiet phase, waiting to reveal more. So, what if Earth truly is an alien zoo, a place where cosmic visitors come to marvel at a tiny, vibrant oasis? We've explored how the idea sparks questions about our uniqueness, the possibility of hidden observers, and a strange allure of understanding our universe's biggest mysteries. Whether you're chuckling at the thought of extraterrestrial zookeepers or pondering if we're the zoo's most interesting exhibit, one thing's clear. The universe loves to keep us guessing and maybe even watching. If this playful speculation tickled your curiosity, hit that subscribe button and stay tuned. We've got plenty more to uncover, from alien civilizations to secret cosmic phenomena, all with a splash of humor and a dash of science. Who knows? Maybe the next big revelation is orbiting just beyond what we can see. Until then, keep wondering, keep questioning, and remember, the universe might just be the strangest zoo you've ever visited.